Okay, hi. This is a video reply to a video that a YouTube user made. I don't remember his name just now, but I'm gonna post this as a video reply, and I'm gonna put the link in the description box. Um, by the way, this video is going to be about kinds. This video is going to deal with the concept of kinds, and I will define kinds, which is something that evolutionists are constantly asking for. By the way, I am Mexican, which means that English is not my mother language. So if my pronunciation is not excellent, or if I'm not using the correct terms or anything, please try to understand. It's not very easy to post a video in a language that you don't speak very well. So, and by the way, I'm also interested in having a debate. So if there's any evolutionist out there that would like to debate me, please send me a private message, and perhaps we end up agreeing in something, and perhaps we can end up making our a debate in YouTube. So if there's anyone interested, please send me a private message. But well, with that said, back to the original topic is kinds. So evolutionists say that we cannot define kinds, and of course they imply that that's a big problem for creation, because if we cannot define kinds, then the whole model is fallacious and wrong or whatever. Well, first of all, many terms are not well defined, but you can still make good points with those terms. For example, biologists haven't defined species or families or class or kingdoms. I mean, there is not like a clear and objective definition. I mean, it's not like there's a point where there's not a clear line where an animal stops being one class and becomes another class. But biology works perfectly well. I mean, even though these terms are not perfectly well defined, biology works just well, and that's not. And the lack of a clear definition is not really a limitation for biology. So, not having a clear definition for kinds should not be a big problem for creationists. I mean, the model will still be as strong as it is. But anyway, the good news is that there is a clear definition for kinds. There is a clear and objective definition of kinds, and this definition is very simple. If two animals were able to interbreed originally, they are the same kinds. So if two animals were originally able to interbreed, they are the same kinds. As simple as that. So in some cases, it's very easy to know. For example, wolves and dogs can interbreed today, so it is fair to assume that they were also able to interbreed in the past. Donkeys and horses can interbreed today, so they were also able to interbreed in the past. That sounds logical to me. Same case with the tiger and the lion. Since they can interbreed today, then they are the same kind because they were also able to interbreed in the past. The first thing you have to know is, if an animal can interbreed today, you can assume that they are the same kind of animal. And in many cases, you can use common sense. For example, according to common sense, T-Rex and humans are a different kind. So, just like we know that the T-Rex and humans are a different species, or even a different class of animal, by using common sense, I think common sense can also be used to conclude that the T-Rex and the human are a different kind. We know that T-Rex and humans were not able to interbreed originally. So, I think you can use common sense. It's fair to use common sense, and even though there is not an objective way of telling whether if the T-Rex or if the humans were able to interbreed in the past, I think you can use common sense. Just like you use common sense to determine that the T-Rex and the humans are a different class of animal. So I don't see why evolutionists have problems with this. But anyway, I mean, if you can use common sense. I mean, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong in using common sense. And there are some cases where it is hard to tell whether if two animals are the same kind or not, because it's hard to tell whether if two animals were able to interbreed in the past or not. For example, the lion and the cheetah, they cannot interbreed today, but they're more or less similar, so maybe they were able to interbreed in the past. I don't know. So in this kind of particular cases, it's I don't know. Maybe the cheetah and the lion are the same kind of animal, or maybe they are a different kind of animal. So I don't know, but there is an objective way to determine whether if two animals are the same kind or not, and that's using mitochondrial DNA. So with mitochondrial DNA proves that cheetahs and lions, they all came from the same woman. That will prove that cheetahs and lions are the same kind of animal. So there is an objective way of telling whether if two animals are the same kind or not. I don't know. As far as I know, no one has ever been interested in making experiments with mitochondrial DNA and determine which animals are from the same kind and which animals are not from the same kind. But there is an objective way of telling that. And if you know how mitochondrial DNA works, you will agree with me. If mitochondrial DNA if cheetahs and lions, for example, are the same kind, mitochondrial DNA will show that lions and cheetahs came from the same woman, and therefore it will show that they are the same kind of animal. Of course, this experiment will be limited only for the animal that went into the ark, because and basically these animals are mammals, birds, and reptiles, and the reason why this experiment can only be used in an animal that went into the ark is because these are the only animals that came from a single couple. A man and a woman. So I think the term kind is very well defined, and I even provided a scientific method, an objective method, to show whether if two animals are the same kind or not. So I don't see why evolutionists have so many problems with the term kind. And by the way, the whole point about this is that we as creationists, we do accept that organisms change, but within limits. So that's the whole point with kinds. So speciation can occur, of course, but proving that a dog can come from a wolf doesn't prove that bananas and wolves have a common ancestor. So that's something that evolutionists don't understand very well. Accepting the fact that organisms change doesn't automatically proves evolution. Okay, proving that donkeys and horses have a common ancestor doesn't automatically prove that bananas and donkeys have also a common ancestor. Speciation is a fact, of course. Speciation has been observed, but proving speciation doesn't automatically prove evolution. And the reason is very simple. You can have speciation without new information. However, you cannot have evolution. For example, a fish turning into an amphibian without new information. So the whole point is that it is perfectly consistent to accept the fact that organisms change without accepting evolution. Proving that organisms change don't prove that evolution is true. So I think this is about it. I think I did define kinds, so I did something that according to evolutionists no one has ever done. In my opinion, that's a very simple definition, but well, have a nice day.